Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about my newest coaster project, Hornet, along with my GCI semi-compact Woody, and just go into my thoughts about both of them and what I'm going to be doing for this park altogether. So I've been working on Hornet for as you can see, I'm on year 14 of the park, so I've been working on this for quite a bit of time. I want to say probably like 16 to 18 plus hours, I'd say. Here, let me just delete this. There we go. Okay, sorry, that was bugging me. So, I've been really trying to make this as realistic as possible. I don't usually go for this amount of realism. I try to go for some realism, but this time I tried to step it up a little bit, tried to make some more realistic buildings. For example, I made this shed, and I like the look of it. It's pretty simple looking. On the inside, and I put in this garage. I watched Corvus video today, and he made his garage out of railroad tracks, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna make my garage out of railroad tracks. So inside I put in some like computer looking systems that I got off of the Frontier workshop. I put in these grates that continue out here so I could make my I made my own emergency catwalk, so if a train were to stop on the brake run, or if maybe the launch failed and it rolled back, then you could exit to the right. Because with the left catwalk, I felt like it put us too close to the shed, so I wanted to make my own custom to the right. And I also put it on the other side of the transfer track, so that you could easily access both sides, and if you went up these stairs, you could just go into the transfer track building or the shed. And it looks easy, but it actually took me a little bit to get this all sorted out, where as you can see, while that train's in station, it'll stop for a second while it's launching. This will stop right here, and I would say it's pretty much exactly lined up, so that hypothetically, if the transfer track in this game was able to transfer, the train is lined up on the block correctly. And then once this launches, it just progresses into the station like normal. And then I put in some details over here. Just some put some support beams, because I thought, oh, maybe they're doing repairs. I put in this tank and this generator looking thing. Don't ask me about the functionality of them. It's just more for the sites. They don't really do anything. Same thing within here. Underneath the second, I can't really get down to it. But as you can see, I put like some piping. It's really hard to see, but there's some wire under there. Here, I can actually delete this so then you can see it a little better. I just put these wires connecting up to the control panels and such. And then also I put in this stairway down here so that, oh my gosh, cannot use this controller. There we go. I put these stairs in so that hypothetically you could look underneath the track at the wheel assemblies, and I put those lights under there so you could see it better. And I thought that the shed, I've done sheds before and I've tried to put some things in there, but I feel like this is probably my best go at like the detailing of it. On console, I've looked up like realism things on the Frontier workshop, and I can't really find anything. So if anyone knows of any extra like realism items in the Frontier workshop and like what I can search to find them, let me know, because that would be very helpful. And then over in the station, I tried to make it best detailed as I can. I put in the row numbers, I actually put in, I saw this in a Nerd Chacho video, having actual ride ops. And then also he calls them a push point, I believe. In real life, each operator would hold down on a button which would progress the train out of the station. And if one ride up were to let go of that button, then it would stop the train. So that's what I was going for with these consoles in front of all of them. And I put in a storage bin that I also got on the Frontier Workshop. And I put in an actual ride operator booth that I think looks pretty good. The windows could be better, but you know, it's pretty fidgety. And I did this by using the inside of this looks terrible, but I use this by doing the window trick where you aren't on a grid when you use windows. So I just put a bunch of windows together and made kind of a building. I wanted to put more like detailing in there, like putting in file cabinets and such, but I couldn't find any on the Frontier Workshop, and I didn't see the point of me spending time making a file cabinet that's not going to turn out looking like a file cabinet. So I just kind of skipped that. I'm still have a lot to do with the overall park. It's not going to be a huge park. I think probably I'll put in 2 more coasters in this area, and I'll put in some buildings like shops and stuff. I'm just not very good at building shops. I find it pretty difficult. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time putting in miscellaneous buildings. It's more about the coasters for me. That's what I find fun. I'll put in a couple, try to make them to the best of my ability, but my main focus will be on these roller coasters. So back over to Hornet, I put in some custom supports because the station, I put this corkscrew over the station so the track supports turned off because there was something in the way. So I made these crappy looking track supports, but if you don't stare at them too closely, they look fine. So I made a couple of those. I made some over on this turn. And over here I actually made, since it's called Hornet, I want to make a honeycomb kind of style looking thing. So as you can see, if you've been looking at the queue line, I really took that honeycomb looking design and put it everywhere. So put it in the queue and I put it on the exit, and they're in 2 different patterns. I think it looks really good. And like the different patterns, they give good contrast to each other. And then for this, like I was saying, I made sort of for a near miss element. So when you're going through, it almost feels like you're gonna smack your head, but I have gone through and froze it and unfroze it to make sure that there will be no smacking of heads. And then I another detail of realism, I put these fences up and made these kind of cool looking crisscross beams for like supports of these fences so that loose articles on a train wouldn't fly and hit you in the head. And I put that in the front and in the back where the track goes over pathways. And that's about it for Hornet, for all the detailing and such. So I'm just gonna, I did just put a video up on the POV, but I'm gonna ride it anyway because it's fun. So that was the POV of Hornet, and I really like the layout. I feel like it's pretty smooth. The only thing is this last inversion feels a little weird, to be honest. It just feels a little jerky, so I might redo it, but I'm a little hesitant to, because I have actually I've redone this inversion probably 8 times. Every single time I like ride it and I'm like, I feel like it could be better, so I'd redo that, and by redoing this part I'd redo the end as well, because at first, my first go around, the first couple go arounds, the track went off of this, forgot what this element's called, it doesn't matter, but it went off of this like overbanked section and went a little more to the right, so coming around this way and back in. But then I felt like the turnaround was too long and too slow, so then I made it more to the left and then a tighter turn. And then I realized that my entrance into the inversion was a left entrance into a left exit. And if you go over here, it's a left entrance into a left exit. And I'm like, that's too much repetition. So I put it into a right and then left exit. And I think that combination is a lot better than it was previously, but at the same time, it's a little jerky. So I might redo it for like the 20th time and try to make it a little more smooth. But I don't know. I might just live with it. Then over here I named it Stinger to go along with the idea of this Hornet bug themed area. And I put in this fence. This is not even close to being done. I just put it in I was tired of just seeing a super plain queue line, so I put in something temporary for now. And then I started building, or not started, finished building my GCI twister layout. And the queue line, I think I'm going to make a little different, because I feel like this is too much of, it's not entirely an exit path, but I don't like the idea of putting an entrance to a ride right next to an exit of another ride. So I think I'm going to run the main path straight a little bit and maybe curve out here, because I want to put some coasters over in this area and maybe another one over here. And then I'll connect the entrance to the main path here instead of putting it right next to the exit of Hornet. I think that might make a little more sense. I'll think about it. I don't know. And the idea of this coaster was to make it as more of about like speed around banks and stuff. So I put a lot of like pretty banked long turns. And I think it turned out pretty good. I've ridden it a couple of times. I've tweaked with the friction, and I actually ended up making the lift hill just a little bit taller to gain a little bit more speed. And I think it looks pretty good. And only problem that I have is visually. We have two bigger hills, and then the rest is really low. I might reformat it to make a section of it a little taller, just because I feel like from an entrance standpoint, you see these two hills and you should see something in the middle of them too. So maybe I thought maybe I'd come off of this round hill and maybe I'll cut it off and go up over the brake run instead of the double up, a lower to the ground but then into a double up. I think I might replace that with something a little different, just because visually it doesn't look exactly right, but I don't know yet. For now, I'm just gonna go give it a ride, and yeah, that will probably be it. If it'll like go, hold up. If I edit it, I think it might go. Or the trains just disappear. Well, that's weird. I've never had that happen before. I don't have trains anymore. Give me a second. It's really weird. I don't know. Don't know where the trains are. Alright, I got it to work. Oh, okay. We're gonna give it a whole ride. Yeah, so I don't know what was happening. It just got really buggy. I'm gonna edit out part of that section, and if it doesn't line up, it's because I'm bad at editing, so sorry. And yeah, here's the ride. Alright, that was the GCI. That's about all I have to show you for today. If you enjoyed the video and you're new here, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribed. And if you already are subscribed and you just really love watching my videos and you really loved this one, then a thumbs up would mean a lot to me. Yeah, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and have a good weekend, and see you later.